All right, cool. What's up, guys? We're back with another video, just doing another conversation with my guy, Matt Kresko. And Matt, do you want to tell everyone just kind of what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Matt Kresko. I am a real estate investor. So I have rentals, I do fix and flip, I do some wholesale as well. I work directly with real estate agents to find off-market properties that need some fixing up. And yeah, is that a good? I
Yeah.
didn't even know.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Cool. Yeah, no, these are super raw, so that's perfect.
Oh, I didn't even know what this was exactly. I guess what exactly is, because I thought we were hopping on for just kind of a call. I'm open to pivoting, obviously, to whatever this might be. But talk to me about you. So you've done this before?
Yeah, so I've done this with a couple guys already, and really like just you and I we texted probably a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago at this point, like, hey, let's hop on a call and like talk about some of the AI stuff we're trying to build out and implement. And so really, I thought it would be cool if like just have those conversations and record them and post them on YouTube because a lot of times there's like just so much good information that comes out of them, and like why
Yeah.
not share it with people. And so yeah, that's what I've been doing, like just people who I'm interested in like what they're building or like people who I want to catch up with. Hey, let's hop on Zoom. I'm gonna record this and like literally just talk like it's you and I.
Yeah. So I might be the least interesting person that you've talked with when it comes to what they've built in AI, because I just got on the Claude game about a week ago,
Uh,
which I realize is like old news, but I'm still, I think most business owners right now are, especially guys like us that don't have large teams,
mm,
are struggling with like, I have to use AI, I have to implement AI, but I also have to do my job,
yeah,
right? So it's like, hey, if you don't learn AI, you're going to fall behind. But
yeah,
when you're working, every single day of the week, and for me, I have to figure out ways to buy. I
mm,
have to keep in touch with those relationships. I have to find lenders on both ends of the deal. I have to manage construction to a certain extent. I've got rental properties that need maintenance and leasing and all these other things. And I'm like, and when it comes down to like, yes, I understand how much AI can have an impact on our business. And like, when we look at what's the biggest bang for my buck right now for my business to just keep it going and like incrementally growing, taking 1 to 2 hours a day to learn something that
yeah,
like has such a like you've got to you got to do quite a bit of a amount of work and understanding to actually do anything with it. Just
yeah.
doesn't always seem like the best and most efficient use of time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that does. So I'm curious, like, what would be beneficial for you right now? Just kind of like smoothing out certain processes with AI, maybe automating some things, or
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say the number one thing that if I could figure out something, so I look at it as like, what are my highest leverage activities?
Mhm.
Okay. And then what are the things that like, I'm reading a book called The Science of Scaling right now by Dr. Ben Hardy. And a lot of what they talk about is what's below your floor.
Mhm.
So to me, something that's below my floor is leasing the properties. So leasing entails uploading pictures,
Mhm.
posting on the different websites, fielding all the different inquiries
Yeah,
about people that want to rent my property. And with that, it's about speed to lead. So
yeah,
this is not something that I can batch, right? I can't like say, hey, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour each day. It's like as soon as a lead comes in,
gotta
I need
call.
to be responding and I need to see them all the way through, and I have to keep backfilling that funnel
Mhm.
because so many people, I find myself, I stop when I get somebody close to leasing it, and then all of a sudden they back out, and I got to start the process over again. So leasing is one of the things that I found is below my floor because I can make a couple $1,000s a month, 1,000 to a couple thousand a month off of these tenants, which is great. And I need all the spots filled, but I can make 20, 30, 40, $50,000 off of a really good deal if
Right.
I'm just out doing the business development side of things.
Yeah.
So I would say, yes, I would love to automate some stuff around that, but if I could just buy back more time to
Mhm.
do the bigger, uh, bigger picture stuff, or at least a bigger dollar amount stuff, I
Yeah.
would do that. And I think it comes from number one, leasing, and then just overall property management, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. What software are you using for all that? I'm just curious, like, and some don't have this capability, but like if you have API capabilities on some of these softwares, you could easily like connect this with Manus and build an agent that can literally handle this exact task for you. Obviously, you have to train it a little bit, but I'm sure you have tons of data at this point on like past conversations that like lead up to like a lease unit or whatever. And so you could feed that data to the agent and allow it to learn, and it would essentially just become like AI map, you know?
Yeah, no, and I've thought about that a lot. It's just the legwork that goes into that. So there's a couple of different. Well, yeah, there's a couple of different. So Rent Ready is the software that I use that houses like all the different, basically the ledgers.
Mm,
Like, and when you want to post your property on Rent Ready, it can go off to Zillow and all these other platforms. And then another one I use is Facebook Marketplace because a
okay.
lot of people look on Facebook. So there's different ones, but I've definitely contemplated the idea of like, hey, how do I build out an agent that just replies automatically,
Yeah.
knows how to reply, sends them the link to apply, or collects the information because it's all self showings too.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Once I get so if they fill out the application, then we can check the application, and if all that checks out, they can view the property. But if they don't want to pay the application fee, they can send their ID and their pay stubs to confirm identity and income. And
Mm.
then once those things check out, then they can go view it. I can get them a lockbox code and everything else. Which again, when I think more and more about it, it's like if I can review pay stubs and identity to make sure they match up and that they make the income, I know an AI agent could do that as well.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say for one of our clients, we built an AI agent where they're like a high-end remodeling company, so average ticket size is like $90,000. And so obviously, they don't want a bunch of 10, $15,000 projects coming through the funnel. And so we built an agent that basically pulls a bunch of data on a lead as it comes in from Meta and like does all this deep research and is able to like figure out their occupation, figure out their neighborhood, figure out the value of the house, and then kind of estimate their income and buying power based on that. And so yeah, you could definitely do something similar that would yeah save you a lot of time there.
Yeah, what do you feel like has been the biggest game changers for you on AI that you've implemented in your business?
I would just say, kind of like I was talking about off camera, like just the fulfillment aspect. Essentially, as soon as we onboard a client, all their assets, like their landing pages, their ad scripts, everything are getting built out automatically based on a skill that I built in Manus. And so I would say that, like, that's something that can typically be very time consuming. But I had done it enough times to where I figured out the framework that I typically follow. I have a whole process on how I actually like script the ads, how I do all the copywriting, how we like to structure our landing pages. And so, yeah, I built it into a skill. And then now that just shoots out right away. And so then we're just focused on like, okay, now we need to get these videos in production. And that's more so on the client side of things. So, yeah.
How long have you been uh, building your AI muscles? I guess is probably the best way I could ask that.
I'm still fresh. I would probably say since end of February, early March is when like I really, really was like, I'm gonna dive into this. Yeah.
Really? And then how many hours a day, like if you had to equate it to a number of hours, right? How many hours do you think you are into it?
Like total.
Yeah.
That's tough. I don't know. Like there's I know you're a Saturday guy too. There's some Saturdays where it's 16 hours playing with AI. So,
Really?
yeah,
Just
just
straight
try.
AI?
Yeah, just straight AI, just trying to learn and like there's a like you can get things functional, but like you have to do a lot more work to like get it to where it's actually like ready to use and like be client facing or whatever else. And so like a lot of it is just trying to get things perfect. And like for example, with the tool that I just referenced, I was like pulling information for one of my clients, like it took a lot of just like back and forth and like adding different references to get it like really, really accurate. I remember the first time I tested it, I just used like my parents' address and stuff just to like keep testing it, and it would get their address correct, but it would be like way off on like occupation and estimated income and all that. And so I just had to like keep feeding it different references. And the one that like finally cracked it, I told it that it needed to start pulling from LinkedIn to find the job description. And once it pulled from LinkedIn, it like I would say our accuracy is probably like 90% now. And so it's just those little things that you just have to keep trying to hone in to like just get it to where it can really be like used.
So then your business is obviously ads,
Yeah.
but you're building out agents for these people as well as like
Yeah.
an
So
add-on service.
Yeah, so like yeah, ads is like our main focus. But the way I like to differentiate myself just from other agencies is like we are very sales focused as well. And so we have a lot of systems on the back end that we implement that help clients bring a lead to a close. And most of those have nothing to do with AI. But recently I've just started experimenting with some AI things. I haven't charged anyone for it. Like literally just like, hey, I built this. I think it will work really well for you. Let's just try it with really just with clients who like the trust is there and like we have a good relationship. And so, yeah, I haven't sold anyone any AI stuff yet. Just trying to see how it works. And like the tool that I just built, like I feel like I could easily go and sell that to like another luxury remodeling company. It works really, really well. I just haven't yet. This is not my focus right now.
Yeah, long term, I'm sure you've thought about this. Where do you think there's more money in ads or in AI automation for business?
It's tough. I would say probably AI automation, but that's not the I don't want to be known as the AI guy. I don't know if you see my posts on Facebook. Before anything AI that I talk about, I reference like I am not an AI expert. I don't want to consider myself that. I just want to use AI to like help get better results from ads. That's really my only thing right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, good for you on doing that because I know a lot of people could get distracted by shiny object syndrome of
Yeah.
like they see another need for a customer and they're like, well, why don't I pivot to this
Yeah.
as opposed to what I'm doing? But I think it's a good model of like doing what you're doing, making, and
Yeah.
then figuring out how AI could be more successful in doing
Yeah.
that. But my guess is more people are going to ask you to do more of that AI stuff along with your paid ads.
Oh yeah, for sure, and that's honestly why I was like, okay, just start building something now. And yeah, I don't know when it will come. Like obviously, at some point, I'll charge for that tool, but right now, I'm just kind of building things out for free for clients, just because some stuff doesn't work. Like this tool, when we first built it, it wasn't that good, and so I couldn't charge someone for that. And so yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to talk about this, if we talk about this on the YouTube or this is a separate conversation, but what is your average ticket price for like your monthly, like your services? Does it go by revenue? Does it go by profit? Does it go by really just how much the client's willing to spend?
Yeah, so and it's like changing a lot. I've increased the price quite a bit. Before I would say average ticket price was like 10,000 and that's like upfront payment, like build out the entire system. And then on the back end, we'll either like structure some type of retainer or rev share, just kind of that's kind of like a feel type of thing, like just how are we working together? Is this a client that like I see like the relationship is there, we can build together long term. I'm very careful with like rev shares and stuff just because you can probably assume that can get tricky sometimes. And so yeah,
Hmm.
definitely has to be a relationship there. And then recently we'll talk off YouTube, but yeah, prices increased quite a bit just because we've been getting like really crazy results.
So you do and so you're talking about for setting up the ad, let's call it just like system
mm,
or
yeah,
whatever. So there's a setup charge. So it's like it was a 10K setup charge,
mm,
and then you would charge monthly, either monthly recurring subscription, or if
mm.
you saw it and it fit right, then it would be a revenue share.
Correct, yeah. And basically the way I would do it, I would like it's the 10K up front and then don't pay us anything else and like till you start actually making money from it. And I'm sure you're a Hermosi guy and so I would wait to sell kind of the back end until they see like, oh crap, this is making us a lot of money and then go into it there. I would really try my hardest to just like steer away from any like, oh, well, what happens after this conversation, just because it's a lot easier to sell someone something when you've made them $50,000 as opposed to when you haven't made them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Well, so what was I going to ask? Have you had any conversations yet with business owners that you feel like you've had to turn down?
Oh
That are
yeah,
like,
for sure. Yeah, for
really,
sure.
what are the what types of scenarios are you turning down business where people might be attracted to the idea of like, I know paid ads work, I've
Mm.
got this money right now, but like, what are the reasons that you're normally saying no to people?
They're AOV. Ideally, I like working with higher ticket services. So I always say like minimum 15,000, maybe minimum $10,000 dollar ticket size. And obviously there's exceptions for that all the time. But for the most part, yeah, we're gonna stay high ticket. That'd be the number one thing. Recently I've realized, and this is just from experience, like there's been how do I say this? Like I don't want to like crap on anyone, but like as a small business, sometimes you may not have the infrastructure to deal with such an inflow of like leads, and
Yeah.
so that's kind of been a newer requirement where like we are kind of wanting like a specific team size, specific roles in place, just because the results would be so much better if they can actually like handle what we're bringing in. Does that make sense?
It does,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah, some people think that they're ready for it, and realistically, they're not.
Right.
And then they can't close down business if they're not able to get to the leads or close the
Yeah,
leads or fulfill the leads, right?
that's the thing. Like a lot of times in the past, like I would get like the owner who was still like out doing client work or fulfillment and like leads are coming in and they can't get to it because they're actually like handling fulfillment. Like let's just use landscaping for an example. Like he's out there like actually putting in the retaining wall and so he's missing leads that are coming through. And then he's mad that they're not closing. But as you know from what you do, like speed to lead is very important. Like you got to get to them
Hmm.
like that. And so, yeah, just those little things that I've learned and that's really helped just kind of shape what I'm looking for from a client perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. We talked about Hermosi. Who are your favorite people to follow or model or just like consume their content and mission or story?
Yeah. So I've always been a big Hermosi guy. Do you know Jeremy Haynes?
Why do I know that name? Jeremy
He
Haynes.
he here, let me pull my YouTube, I'll share. He's a marketing guy. I love his content. Basically, all his content is about why we must get richer. Here, I'm gonna share my screen.
Hmm.
Do you see him?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know him?
No, I don't.
Okay, yeah, I like Jeremy Haynes a lot. And then this one, this Ryan Clog, it's literally just like boring loom screen breakdowns all the time. And like that's by far like my most watched YouTube channel. Like,
Are both of these guys AI? No, so Jeremy Haynes is a marketer, so
mhm.
understandable why you follow him, right? And
Yeah.
then is Brian Clogg a marketer too?
He's not a marketer. He owns it's called Warrior Babe. It's like an info offer for women's health. And
Mhm.
he's just like all systems. Yeah, that's why I like his stuff. And I have some questions for you about like systems just because I've kind of like seeing your Facebook and stuff, I've kind of like identify you in my head as like a systems guy. And I'm just curious, like, how have you built some of that stuff out?
Man, it's funny. I, I guess I kind of am a systems guy, but I look at my business and I'm just like, they're just, I see, we follow a lot of the same people.
Hmm.
So it's like you look at these super successful entrepreneurs and business owners and like you see what systems really are, and then you don't feel like you have systems. But um, my systems were built. Here's what I'll tell you. When I got into real estate in 2022, July 22, I owned a recruitment business
Hmm.
for 4 years before I decided to shift full time into real estate.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I loved about real estate. I saw wealth building. It's a good asset class to invest in. The idea of financial freedom. It was a good time
Yeah.
when I was looking into it. I shifted in July of 2022, and that's when like interest rates shot up. All of a sudden, it wasn't easy, and I went through a really difficult time in my life for it, where it took me like 7 months to get my first deal, and I was on my own. I didn't have a paycheck or anything. I ended up working for a company, 100% commission to like acquire properties. Like I thought I was going to take on rentals, and
Yeah.
I found out real quick, like, dude, you got to first fucking learn how to find these deals before you
Yeah.
can even think about taking on a rental. So
Yeah.
I worked for a wholesaling company, and I would say that 7 months of like you know the Hormozy quote that's like the world belongs to those who can do without seeing the results
Yeah.
and continue. That was my 7 months. It was like I talked to every single person, told them exactly what I was looking for. I walked every property that came. I walked over 100 houses, like off-market houses, before I ended up getting my first deal.
Really.
And I would say like that was the point where I feel like I needed processes and systems because even the company I was working with didn't have the like how-to playbook.
Yeah.
And so between myself, my personal development, my self-development, my and then like me investing in coaches, it's like I developed my own methodologies around it. And then it's just
What
like
coaches have you invested in?
so, my first coach when I was doing that was a guy named Brian McCrae. He's a loan officer.
Hmm.
So all of my stuff, my niche is referral based business.
Yeah.
So I've yet to pay ads or send mailers or do anything like that. And Brian is a loan officer that built his whole business in St. Louis around referrals.
Hmm.
That is like 80+% of his business.
Yeah.
Uh, and so, and then within his coaching programs, there's different books. Like one of the books is called The 12-Week Year.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's just
I've read
like,
that one.
it's a great book because it's
Yeah.
like maybe it's the patience in us where it's
Mhm.
like if I set a year goal, it's like that's too, like from January to December is way too long for
Way
me
too
to ever
long.
look at that and
Yeah.
just be like, I would always set a goal and then like a couple months in or whatever, I'd lose interest and
Yeah.
then go on. But he just had a bunch of books and recommendations around referral based business. And the 12-week year, obviously, just to finish that, is like you do quarter sprints.
Mhm.
It's like, hey, over these 12 or 13 weeks, how much can I do? How much progress can I make? What rocks can I or project can I work on
Yeah.
to move me closer to my goal? But it all just kind of clicked. And I would say, you know, it's like when you go 7 months without seeing anything, and then all of a sudden you start to see something,
Yeah.
it makes you notice that much more what's working and what's not.
Oh, for
And
sure.
then and then you sit there and you think to yourself, how can I make sure it doesn't take me another 7 months to get this?
Yeah.
Like, I also think like most entrepreneurs, a high utilitarian. So it's not just money motivation. It's like I'm about efficiency.
Mm.
It's like almost to a fault, every interaction that I look at, I'm like, is this pushing me in a direction that I want to go, which
Yeah.
is good, but it can seem ruthless at times when
Yeah.
it's like
Sure.
people are asking you to coffee or, friends from college are like, hey, we're all off work. Like it's just happened. We're all off work next Friday. and we're going to do a guys
Yeah.
golf tournament and get together. And I'm like, I'm not good at golf, right? We're not going to talk about anything business related. So it's like,
Yeah.
I love everybody in that group, but I'm like, not worth my time. So I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, that makes total sense. Yeah, I get exactly what my wife says that I'm like a total weirdo when it's like non-business stuff. I can't help it. I don't care about anything else.
It's tough. It's tough to fake
Yeah.
it at times too,
Yeah.
especially when you're so focused. Like you have to be focused on growing your business in order for it to
Yeah.
be successful. And that means your focus in other areas
Mhm.
just either completely stops or it's not getting as much attention.
Yeah, for sure. I want to ask you this is because I feel like you would have a good answer. So are you more focused on like optimization or is it maximizing? I always like to ask like just people I see as like a high performer that question.
So can you explain the difference between optimization or maximizing? Can you explain
Yeah.
to me the differences?
So optimization almost from a standpoint of like trying to get the most from as little amount of effort as possible, or are you just like I'm just gonna go, 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 go and just try and squeeze all the juice out of this thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm definitely an optimization person.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I am go, go, go.
Mhm.
Um, but I would say like I get more of a kick out of like the what I can get out of like the Tim Ferriss calls it the minimal effective dose,
Mhm.
right? It's like I get more of a kick out of figuring out that minimal effective dose to
Yeah.
get like the maximum result so that I can maximize, right? So that I can, because if I, when I get the hour or whatever it is back,
Mhm.
then it's like, okay, how do I refill that?
Yeah.
Um, but I'm also, but we do, I work a lot. But I also, I do have a family. I do have friends. Like if I like personally, if my social bucket isn't filled, like I burn out on work super easily. So
Yeah.
like on the weekends, we'll have date nights or we'll go out with friends one night. And so, although I know I'm a really hard worker, I'm also not a person that's like 16 hours a day every single day.
Yeah.
I'm more like 12 hours a day, 10 to 12,
Mm.
Monday through Friday. And then like
Yeah.
on the weekends, I'm like 4 to, on a bad day, I'm like 2. On a good day, I'm like 6, but usually
Yeah.
sits around 3 to 4 on the weekends.
Mm.
So I'm also not a person that wants to fill every waking moment with work
Yeah.
because like, as you know, outside of those buckets, outside of the work bucket, I want to be overall, right? Like I
Yeah.
want to be, my fitness is important to me. I want to focus more on my spirituality, right? Obviously my family gets my time and all that other stuff. So I am maximizing so that like, hey, if I fill this bucket up here with little time, what are the other cool things I could do with my life?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. That's a great answer. Okay. Cool.
What about you? I see a little bit of both in you.
I would probably say I'm more maximizer. I should probably be optimizer a little more, but yeah, I can't help it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah,
have it's I feel like you can't be an optimizer without just having a lot of fun in what you're doing, you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
Like I don't like if you weren't having fun and you could tell me if I'm wrong, it's like you wouldn't be optimizing. You'd be like, how do I kind of push some of this stuff off? So to me, it's a good sign that you're having fun doing what you're
yeah.
doing.
Oh, for sure. I like my family and stuff. They talk like I'm just like miserable because I work so much, but there's really nothing else I'd rather be doing, you know. And so yeah, I'm definitely having fun.
Dude, that's the ultimate flex in a world where the majority of people don't enjoy their work
Yeah.
and they want to do everything they can to avoid work.
Mm,
To say that you enjoy what it is that you do for most days, at least half of your waking hours
yeah.
is like the ultimate, right? That's like,
Yeah.
that's like people that do that, I almost liken it to like marrying somebody that you don't like. It's
Yeah.
like just marrying somebody because you feel like you have to, but like, hey, I don't have to like them. It's like I
Yeah.
don't, I don't, I don't get that. I mean, I take it back. I could get that because I think I had been there before where I didn't like work, but I'm glad that I enjoy work now.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So one thing I've wanted to ask you for a while now, and like I'm sure you see my posts, like I talk a lot about like referral based businesses, and that's just because it helps me like generate reach. I get a lot of leads from those type of posts, and I know you are very focused on like referral based business, and I think I commented on one of your posts one time about how like you're the only person I know who says like I'm just referral based that actually has like a system around it. You know, like most people who I see who are like, oh, we only get referrals, it's literally they just sit around and like hope that someone's going to refer them business. And like those are the people that I talk about. Like that's not a real strategy to me. I just don't think it is. But like I can say like you truly have a strategy behind it. And so I want to kind of hear about that and how you've gotten to systemize something that like I feel like so many people just they don't systematize it. They just are like, I'll just wait.
Yeah, thank you for saying it. You know what's funny? It's like before we started having some of these conversations, you had made a post about referrals.
Mm.
And I was like looking at that and I was like looking at that post and I was like in the middle of something and I was starting to like type up, it's not like a response and just be
Uh,
like almost to almost to be a little bit like combative on your
uh,
post. But I appreciate you saying that. And again, I'll start this by saying I'm more systemized than most people, but I'm only scratching the surface on what could be systemized about referrals. I completely agree with you. Majority of people say I only do referrals and I'm not paying for anything else because like they probably started as an individual running the show,
mm,
built up enough of a brand, and then like started um, generating enough like word of mouth that
yeah,
like it comes in for them. But like I think it can fill the bucket for a company that is content on being small,
yeah,
like smaller, right? I don't think majority of those companies are looking to actually scale
yeah,
like somebody like me or you might be trying to do. And so um, I I guess I've been in sales my entire life, so I looked at it as like there's a funnel, like
yeah,
there's a system, there's a KPI, there's metrics that you can develop. And so, you know, when I guess really when I sat down to try to figure this stuff out, it was like, okay, let's reverse engineer. To me, you start with the profit. You get the profit by generating the contract. You get the contract by making the offer appointment, right? And then appointment at some point you get the lead, right? But and that's most people in my space that are direct to seller too.
yeah,
But then it's like, where does that lead come from? And that leads comes from a referral source.
right.
Now, I don't have it down to the specific KPIs and metrics just yet. But what I know is the two things that I can do to generate referrals are add people to my database and then follow up with them.
Yeah,
So what I track is how many people am I adding to my database every single week,
mm,
and then I have them on some type of follow-up drip. I don't track the number of follow-ups right now. That'll be a metric I track down the road, but I just make sure everybody gets hit once a month. And
yeah,
so when I started out in the business, it was like, all right, let's just build this number up as much as we possibly can.
yeah,
And so I try to add 10 to 15. I'm probably closer to 10, admittedly, like new good conversations of people that can consider me. And
yeah,
then over the last couple of months, I've really niched down and said, like, I'm the real estate agent guy.
yeah,
So I used to say like wholesalers and junk removal companies and like what I've realized is if I can develop a niche and just become the one person known for this, that I'm going to scale faster,
sure.
right? It's like if you want to be develop a social media following, it's like yes, you can post across all platforms,
Mm,
but that takes a lot of time, and so all of them are going to kind of go like this, as opposed to if you just go to one, it can go a little bit faster. So
yeah,
to go back and answer your question, it's like I look at it as a funnel. And then the thing that you're probably noticing is that if you add these people to your database and then you post on social media about it, you post on your experiences, you post your proof, right?
yeah,
If you look at my Facebook, it's like I post Monday through Friday at almost 7 a.m. every single morning, one Facebook post. I'm not a volume guy, which there's probably a case for this to go either way. but it's like I want one good post that's going to engage people, or it's going to show the people that I target that I am who I say I am.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like that's I close on properties, I flip properties, I have rentals, I get agents paid double commissions, right? So there's always a success story. Every time I close a deal with an agent, we'll go to lunch and we'll take a picture.
Yeah.
And so, man, I'm kind of like going all over the place
No,
here, but I
you're
could talk
good.
forever about this.
No, this is awesome.
It's the system is how many people do I have in my database? Am I following up with every single one of them? Which we could probably develop some automations around that.
Mm.
And then on the adding fuel to the fire is the social media. Every time I add an agent to my database, they're added on Facebook because all that's my target audience. Like I'm
Yeah.
not even targeting sellers. My customers are agents
Yeah.
and they all live on Facebook. And so that's how I'm systemizing it now.
Mm.
And I'm wondering, like, my first goal is to get to the point where my bottleneck is too many deals to know what to do with,
Yeah.
so that maybe I could bring somebody in. Eventually, I want to get to the point where I'm not the face,
Yeah.
right, down the road, and I've got like a team of acquisition people or whatever the case is. Um, but I do believe I'm on a mission to prove that uh, that there it is scalable. Referrals are scalable if you develop systems just like anything. Do you know what's his name? Tommy. He's a home services guy.
Uh,
I gotta hold on a second. Let me look him up.
okay.
Tommy, let's see. The home services guy, home services expert. He's got a Tommy Mello.
Tommy Mello. I don't think I know him.
Good listen. It says $200 million founder, Forbes Inc. entrepreneur, whatever. Super successful guy, but he started out doing referrals too.
Really?
Um, but there's a lot of people that say referrals aren't scalable. And it's like, here's the cool thing for what I do.
Mm.
It's I building a real estate portfolio. I don't have to have like hundreds of deals every month,
Yeah.
right? Like if I make 20, 30, 40, 50K off of a flip, or
Hmm.
if I add one rental door that adds cash flow, it's like I don't have to go nationwide with this. Like I can become, pretty generationally wealthy just
Yeah.
by finding, valuable real estate assets. So, yeah, again, sorry, I feel like I went all over the
No,
board, but
you're
there's a lot of
good.
ways I could have taken that. But I like referrals. Referrals are fun to me because
Yeah.
I also become friends with a lot of these people I do business with.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's cool. I'm curious, and we kind of talked about this a little bit the other day. I know you and I we talked about like what ads would even look like for what you do. Um, and like, would I be correct in saying that like potentially your LTV on like a realtor is, I don't know, 30K and up? Is that a realistic LTV?
So it's a realistic one,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
But what we had talked about this idea of referrals is the one source that like paid ads are great. You can get really high ROIs. You've proved that over and over again. But if you stop doing the paid ads, eventually that well runs dry.
Yeah.
Cold calling, door knocking, right? All these other ways, like same thing. Referrals, it's like you could cold call these agents
Mhm.
or whatever and get them as a referral partner. And then you have one, and that one could feed you for a lifetime.
Yeah.
So the downside is it takes a lot. You got to kiss a lot of frogs to
Mm.
find a referral prince.
Yeah.
But like once you find one, like I found a guy that I did two quick wholesale deals off of.
Hmm.
The amount of time I spent in these properties or working these properties, two different deals was probably like 3 hours
Hmm.
between like analyzing it, walking the property, finding a buyer, and that's between both of them combined. And I made 10,000 off one and 16,000 off another,
Yeah.
and then they closed within a couple of weeks each. So like made 26K within a week.
Yeah.
Uh, Um, So, and that's off one guy. And he called me right before our call here, and he's looking for other properties for me. So
Yeah.
to say 30, if you're talking about like a converted one,
Yeah, let's talk converted one.
I would say it's a lot more. I
Really?
would say 20 to 30 is probably the minimum
hmm
because a lot of these people I will end up doing multiple deals with. The longer I'm in business, as long as I continue following up with them and they still know my name, I
hmm
will do business with them. So I would say 20 to 30 is like um, the minimum threshold on a converted one. But there's like I told you, there was one guy who, will probably end up making 40, $50,000 off of a flip on it, but it took him 3 years to convert on a deal.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the trade-off that you have. But there's, it's probably no different than any other sales cycle. It's some
Yeah.
just take longer to convert, the longer you follow up, right?
Yeah. No, for sure. Okay, that makes sense. Um, I was about to ask you a question. Yeah, I cannot remember what I was about to ask. But anyways, no, that makes a ton of sense. And like, oh yeah, what I was gonna say. So like, you said you're using your Facebook is kind of like the social proof aspect of like what you do. Like, I guess do you for attribution purposes, like, do you consider any of like the leads that you get like these were generated by social media, or do you consider those referrals as well if they come to you from social media? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's all referrals still.
Okay,
It's all in the same
got it.
referral bucket because I get those leads because because it's not the direct to seller. I'm not getting like the owner of the property to reach out to
I
me.
see.
I'm
Yeah.
getting somebody that wants to connect me with the owner or wants to be part of that transaction that refers it to me.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, like I said, you're the only person I know who's ever given me like a real strategy behind their referrals. And like I'm sure there's other people out there who like have a strategy, but no one else has given me one. So yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, well, it can be tough. Whatever, it can be tough too. So where does most of your business come from? Like, are you running ads for yourself, or were you cold calling, or are you just networking with people?
Yeah, so in the beginning, like 3 years ago when I first started, I would just cold call people all day long, literally just all day long. And that's how I got like my first few clients. And then from there, um, I would just do like cold outreach on Facebook and stuff. And I would offer people back then I was fully focused on SEO. And so I would just offer people an SEO audit to where I'd analyze their website, show them all the gaps, and then use that to kind of like disguise the sales process and just tell them everything that's wrong. And then I'm like, hey, we could probably fix this for this price. And that was kind of like my next step in sales. And then I did start focusing on paid ads. I got a lot of clients from paid ads that worked really, really well. And I thought it was good at the time to like kind of put my money where my mouth is. Like I talk so much about paid ads, like I might as well run them myself and like prove that I'm pulling
Yeah,
deals from them. And like, yeah, very, very good ROI on that. But recently, as I've gone more like um, just for better lack of terms, like up market as far as like the types of clients that I'm working with, they don't necessarily respond to paid ads the way I would like. And so I've actually gone back to cold outbound. It's a lot more targeted. Like I'm not sending 100 messages a day like I used to. Um, I find someone who I like, and I think that we could really, really help them. And I analyze pretty much everything they're doing in their business from a lead
yeah,
perspective, and then I'll put together like a 5 to 10 minute Loom video and send it to them. And that's how I'm closing like all my deals right now. And like I'm closing them at like 80% right now. The Loom videos are like very, very
Jesus.
yeah, they're very, very in depth and like so far everyone's watched them and been like, oh wow, like this makes a ton of sense. Like how can we start on this? And so yeah, that's really my focus is just like just trying to give a bunch of value. Like I tell everyone in the video, like if I promise you if you go and implement this right now on your own, like you'll make a crap ton of money. And obviously people don't want to do it on their own though. And so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, give away the secrets for free, sell
Yeah.
on implementation, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And so, yeah, it's kind of
So
crazy how it came full circle. Yeah, I used to just spam volume with like cold outreach. But yeah, very, very targeted now and like just trying to reach like true ideal clients.
yeah, it's crazy what you could do when you target. So I've developed lists of like agents and brokerages and teams that are like, because I don't want to reach out to any agent. I don't
Yeah,
want to just like have a list of all 14,000 agents and run it through a dialer. I want to
right.
reach out to people that are actually doing deals, more specifically doing the deals that I want to buy.
Yeah,
Um, I got uh, I got I got introduced to this concept of like can I share it with you?
yeah,
So it's this I want to I feel like it could be relevant to your business.
yeah.
So different levels of distribution channels,
Mm,
right? And so there's four levels. So you have level one distribution, which is just which is operator dependent, right? It is paid ads, it is cold outbound, right? It's like door knocking, it's whatever like you can do to generate one, right?
yeah,
Level two is an individual, right? To me, and we talked about this briefly on Facebook, is like I introduced you to James Gleason
yeah,
and I was like, dude, I'm like, let's connect. I'm like, there might be other people. Like I network with business owners, right? There could be other people that I could introduce you to that. So that's like level two, where it's like, hey, let me reach out to people who are gonna, and Hormozy talks about it's affiliates,
yeah,
right?
yep,
It's like lead getters, people that would go out and do whatever to find you business for your ICP.
yeah,
Level three is organizations. So it's like, hey, how do I get in with a, bad example, but just for something, it's like BNI, right?
mm, yeah,
How do I get in with a local BNI chapter if they had the people that could afford you and that were a good fit for you? So it's like this whole idea of like every distribution channel that you go up has an opportunity to 10x your output,
yeah,
right? And so for me, I was like, oh, like I'm stuck at level one. Like, although I'm getting to a lot of people through social media and the follow-ups, I'm like, my level really should jump to like three, where I target big brokerages and I go speak in front of those brokerages and sell the value and, maybe get a handful of people in one
yeah,
felt swoop.
yeah,
And then there's a fourth level, which is just like apparently you're like an attachment to these folks, which is a little bit above like what I can even comprehend at this point. But I was thinking of that, and I'm like, your services are so good, you're such a hard worker, you're value first, right? It's like, would it ever make sense to you to like instead of, although your lists are curated, so I'm sure you're closing at 80%, so what you're doing is working, but it's like, is there a world where you could optimize and free up even more of your time by connecting with like organization that would just like feed people to you, or like a couple individuals that would be like, yeah, dude, Caleb's the man. Like, if
yeah.
you're thinking about a different way to find customers, you should talk to him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's something I've been considering. There's this Facebook group. What's it called? It's called Moda Collective or something like that. I'm in there and it's this bunch of business owners. I think there's like 70,000 business owners in there. And basically they'll allow you to like pay them to be a preferred vendor and like they'll make a post about you once a month and like anytime if someone like asks about that specific service, they'll make sure that you're the one that's recommended. I literally just had a call with them yesterday or day before that. And so, yeah, I have been thinking about stuff like that. I will tell you, and I won't go into like too much detail, but I'm trying to work with like more like franchise level type companies, just because they'll have multiple locations and
Yeah.
be able to like roll my system out around each location. And so I actually did land a deal last week with they're not a franchise, they're a dealership. I really don't know what the difference is. But had to get a ton of like corporate approval and everything to like actually get started on the deal. And basically we're in an engagement now to where if it's successful, they're gonna roll what I do out across all 35 locations. And so
Wow.
that's kind of my focus now is like how can I get these like technically I'm closing one client, but like I'll get a ton of deals from that. Is that kind of, do you feel like that's kind of the same as what
Dude,
you're saying?
absolutely, a
Yeah.
hundred percent. It's like again, it's the optimized, right? It's
Yeah.
like how do I confine my time? How do I get people that are champions for me, or like how do I land these even better, right? How do I land this fish that's like an individual, but could branch off into 35 times
Right.
more clients? How
Yeah.
many clients do you have right now?
I want to say like 15. Yeah. Not
And I know you're not going volume,
Yeah, I'm
right?
not going volume. Yeah. So like 15 and we work closely together. But even that, like there's clients that like I am probably going to not continue to work with, just like nothing personal, like just like who I want to work with, like what my ICP is probably just not a great fit right now. And so yeah, that's probably a number's probably going to get smaller here soon. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. It's like you got at some point you got to start shedding. I think it's cool to be in a position in your business where you can shed clients because
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
that's money,
Yeah.
right? But it's like it's a mature thing to realize for like what's the opportunity cost
Mhm.
for me to continue working and putting time and effort and energy into their goals aren't aligned with what you want to do for your clients.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. No, I was telling my wife the other day, like it is a blessing to like, yeah, be able to turn down deals. Like literally a year ago, I would have never turned down a deal,
Yeah,
Things has changed fast. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, man. No, that makes sense what you're saying though about like that. I think you said third level. Is that what it was? You got first level, second level, third level? Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, no, that
Yeah, so it's something that like it's more of an aha for me
mm,
because I'm like I've kind of stopped a little bit
mm,
cold calling. Like this is like within like 5 6 days, stopped cold calling agents.
mm,
And then I'm like, okay, how do I get in front of a group of agents or how do I get in front of somebody that has like authority status over a bunch of them and can like vouch for me? And
yeah,
so I've got a presentation. Like as soon as that clicked in my mind, it was like I made one call and he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, let's have you come in and present to our entire office of agents.
yeah.
Um, and then we'll figure out like what's going to be valuable to them outside of just the commission. And so I've got one lined up. Actually, after our call, I've
Mm,
got another team lead conversation lined up where it's
yeah,
like my time, although I can cold call and I'm good at it, and it's not hard to get people bought into what it is that I do. It's like I would much rather start with one person and then just a whole group of individuals
yeah.
that could be doing what I'm coming across what I'm looking for.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, that makes sense. Before we hop off, I'm just curious, like, kind of tell me, like, just as simple as possible, like, where's the business right now, and like, where are you trying to take it? Like, what is your overall like big picture goal that you're trying to hit right now, and like, what are the steps you're taking to get there?
Yeah. So I'll be this could end up biting me in the ass when it's on YouTube, or it could serve as accountability.
Yeah.
So when I worked my W-2 job, it's like I was probably making, anywhere from 200 to $250,000 a year, and I joined this scaling coaching group.
Hmm.
That is the whole premise is like scaling is not like, hey, going from 100 to 140, right? Scaling is like going from 5x or 10x.
Yeah.
And so everybody talks revenue, right? Like everybody talks like or doors in my industry, right? And it's like I played that game for a little bit, and I'm like, I think active income is the biggest opportunity to
Oh,
have an impact of your life,
for
right?
sure. I think that's any business. Not to cut you off, but like one thing I've identified recently is I don't want to be the agency that, yeah, I have 100 clients, but I have 40 people working for me and my profit's low and I'm taking home 20,000 a month. Like
Yeah.
that's not what I want. Like I want a very like big profit margins. I want to be taking home a majority of the money because yeah, I don't really care to be able to say, oh, we have 100 clients and we're doing X amount of revenue and like I'm really not making any money. It doesn't matter.
No, it's fine if it's cool with people,
Yeah,
right? I'm not shitting on them. It's like, but
yeah,
it's a vanity metric. And
yeah,
to me, as a high utilitarian, it's like, what am I taking home, and like, what does my time look like being
yeah.
spent? there's nothing more valuable than like how my time is being spent and then what's the money that I'm taking home. So my goal is by 2028, I want to make 2.5 million in active income through my real estate business.
Yeah.
And what that's hopefully doing for me is like, if you wanted to grow incrementally, there's probably 15 ways you could list off in the next 60 seconds of what you could do to grow incrementally. If you want to grow exponentially, there's only a couple of pathways that will actually take you there. And
Yeah.
so it's forcing me to dial in on like, okay, if I had to, right? Like that's not, 2.5 years is not that far away.
Right. Yeah.
Like, what do I have to do? What am I doing right now? Leasing property management that's below my floor. And then like, what are the biggest things that can have an impact on like the revenue and profit that I'm generating to
Yeah.
10x, right? Is it more deal volume? Is it higher profit margins? Is it certain type of deals? Is it multifamily, right? I know people
Yeah.
that, sell multifamily, like large commercial multifamily for multiple six-figure checks, right? So it's got me thinking about like how do I get there? And it'll be really cool if you and I sit here in 2.5 years and you're like, hey, Kresko, like where are
Yeah.
you at? And I'm like, dude, I did it.
Yeah.
But if I go from 250 to 1.5 by then, right? It's like the shoot for the moon, land on the stars theory.
Yeah.
It's like if I dialed in my systems and I've hit that and I 5x as opposed to 10x, then like I'll be okay with that. Like the
Yeah.
competitive side in me is like, if somebody else is doing it, you said this, if somebody else is doing it, why can't I do it? Right. So like I want to hit that. But that's my goal. And my goal is secondary goal is I want to zoom out a little bit more. This is more of like a spiritual goal, whatever you want to call it. It's like I kind of want to like um, focus on things outside of just myself.
Yeah.
So once I get to the point where my business is self-sustaining a little more and I don't feel like I gotta make sales to pay the bills, then like it'll be a little bit easier. But it's like I want to the money, the hedonic treadmill is real, right? You and I are a place today where like 3 years ago we would have been in awe,
Oh yeah.
right?
For sure.
Um, and so I know that those goals will always keep growing, but if I can put my effort and energy toward a mission that's bigger than me, then I know I'm going to live more fulfilled life.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, that's awesome, man. Yeah. I want to see you hit it. I want to see you
Yeah,
hit it sooner than 2028. Yeah.
me too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, no, I appreciate it. This was super fun, and like I feel like I learned a ton, and we should definitely do this again. Like I'm just trying to have conversations with people who like I see your stuff all the time. I love what you're building, and like I identify with you as like yeah, just someone who like you're on it, like you're really doing something cool, and so I have a ton of respect for you. And that's why I wanted to hop on this call and really just yeah talk, take a video of it, document it for stuff like that. So yeah, we can look at this in couple years and be like, okay, you did it, you know? So yeah.
You're going to inspire me to start documenting. One question that I do have for you before I go,
Yeah.
what does your ICP look like? When I'm talking with business owners, people like that, like who would you or what archetype would you build out?
Yeah, so and this is all stuff that I've been just kind of honing in recently. Like I've gone less like industry and more so just like identifying with the operator, you know, and like I do just I wanted to be someone who is very growth focused and I don't know, that might not be a good answer. Like as far as industries and stuff, like we've worked with a ton.
No, no, no. Don't sell out here. Like, no,
Yeah.
you're good. Like your ICP is your ICP.
Yeah.
Like understanding that you're eliminating clients because like they don't want to scale. So
Yeah.
like that's totally understandable. Now you want people that are scaling, so they want to
Yeah.
grow a lot further than they currently are. Have
Yeah.
you identified anything else outside of that from the operator standpoint?
From the operator standpoint, it really matters to me that they care about the marketing. And that's just another kind of like new revelation I've had is like, I feel like I get the best results for people when their operator is like dialed in on the same page with me and is like, okay, like how can we improve this, you know? And like they're not looking at marketing as something like, oh, I just got to toss this off and like I don't care. Like they're like actively participating in it. I just
Mhm.
think it's important. Like, and you know, if we do things the right way, like at some point, I'm sure they'll probably not need me and like they're going to hire in-house. Well, how are you going to hire anyone in-house if you don't even understand it yourself and know how to hold them accountable, you know? And so that's
Yeah.
been something that has like really, really mattered to me. And like this is a new thing just with the one of my recent clients I've got who like they're a big client. Like, they do multiple eight figures, and I've just learned a lot from like being inside of their business. And I'm like, yeah, this is like who I want to work with, you know?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I love that. And I think that's good enough. And so one of the things, any conversation I have like this is I try to think of how can I make an introduction.
Yeah.
So I know I got to go here and you got to go here, but I'm going to look out for some other people that I can make intros to you and let's stay in touch and hopefully do this again soon.
Yeah, for sure. This was awesome, man. Thank you.
Cool. Talk to you soon, Caleb.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Later.